One woman in Wirt County is facing criminal charges after she allegedly shot at a man. According to the criminal complaint, on April 24th, a trooper with the West Virginia State Police was alerted to a possible shot fired incident at the intersection of County Comfort Lane and Rose Moorhead in Wirt County. The trooper spoke to the victim and he said he was driving his side-by-side headed towards County Comfort Lane when he hit a chicken in the road in front of a home. According to the complaint, after hitting the chicken, he continued driving and was later chased down by a white Toyota Tacoma. The victim said the suspect was blaring their horn and tailgating. The complaint says as the victim was turning onto Country Comfort Lane, the suspect put the truck in park, exited the vehicle, and then allegedly began firing around 3 shots in his direction and hit the side-by-side. The victim stated he saw the gun was pointed at him when the shots were fired. According to the complaint, the victim identified and knew the driver to be Bobby Drennan. Drennan told the officer that the victim was driving at a high rate of speed while her children were out playing and hit her chicken. She said she had chased him down and met him at the intersection of Country Comfort Lane and Rose Moorhead. When he did not stop, she said she fired her gun in the air. The trooper arrested Drennan and seized the firearm. Drennan was then taken to the Wirt County Holding Center to await arraignment. She has been charged with wanton endangerment with a firearm. The case is currently pending in magistrate court. All individuals are innocent until proven guilty.